Hey there, viewers, and welcome back. This guy's going through puberty. 2019 Hemi Dodge Ram. It's got the big 5.7, and it has no license plate lights. The guy got stopped by the fuzz the other night. Beep, beep, boop, boop, boop. They got him. So we need to check that out. It does have some codes in it. I do notice when I pulled it in, the headlight switch wasn't working. Like off was on, and marker light was on, and on was on, and auto was on. It had on in every position. Fog lights worked. Every other light on the car seems to work. He did replace the plate lights, which on this, oddly enough, are the only LED lights on the entire truck from the factory. So, right? Nonsense, right? All the other trucks are incandescent, or all the other bulbs are incandescent, just regular old school bulbs. Nothing else is going funky. There are some codes in the body module, and I'm struggling a little bit with service data. I went to print us out a diagram, look up some connectors to kind of shortcut the process, and it's not happening. So on the Alto, we have multiple codes in the body module: headlamp, switch, input, short circuit short circuit to battery or open. Code for the right fog lamp control, left fog lamp control, code for this license plate lamp control, and then center stop lamp control. Wow, this guy's having a hard time speaking today. We got a pointing apparatus. Customer didn't mention anything about the headlight switch. We're only concerned about the license plate light. We're going to keep this other stuff in mind. We're here to fix one thing and one thing only. So let's get after it. I'd zoom in on this, but it's easier to not do. Here's the license plate light. So all we have is a color diagram from Mitchell, which are probably the worst diagrams on earth. Often wrong, but sometimes they make a good quick reference because they're colored. We like colored things. And but they often miss critical details such as connectors, which is their biggest fault. So we'll leave that at that. All of the programs that you pay for all have their faults. So I'll give you the lowdown on it. Over here we have the body control module, and that has a driver that runs the license plate light. We have a code Bravo 16 Echo 7-15 license plate lamp control. Circuit short to battery or open. So keep that in mind. We're not looking for a short circuit in the sense that it's short to ground. Okay, so this is a short circuit to battery. So basically what it's saying is this driver that comes out and sends power to both of these license plate lamps is either open circuited or it's shorted to battery because the body control module sees battery voltage on it but no current flow. And that's exactly what the code set criteria is. There's less than, I think, 0.15 amps of current in this circuit. And then at that point, it determines, hey, we're either shorted to battery, which is plausible, or it's open circuited, which is also plausible. So that's what we're looking at. So if you see that word short, don't think that we're automatically going after a wire that's chafed and directly to a piece of sheet metal or directly to ground, because that's simply not the case. We would have an overcurrent in that situation. I did a visual inspection. Nothing jumped out to me. Somebody's been meddling, of course. We never get the virgins. She's been fiddled with. Connectors are hanging off it, stuff like that. Typical other shop shenanigans, we'll call it. There are, according to this, one splice, this SL3, where it splits out to the right plate lamp and the left plate lamp, neither one of which work. Usually if a splice goes, one of them will work, not sometimes, but not always. It does show two connectors, and this is what I can't find: X-Ray Yankee 400 Alpha and an X-Ray Yankee 630 Alpha. So a 630 and a 400. Those are the connector numbers. I cannot find either one in service data. I tried looking on Identifix for an OEM wire diagram. Of course, their website is messed up, as it often is, and does not have the complete OE diagram. So I can't tell if these numbers are actual legit numbers. More often than not, if you're looking on Chrysler, they will use a reference just called inline body connector with absolutely no number reference. And I assume that's what we have going on here. So we're going to poke and hope. We know it's a white with dark blue wire and a black. So first we're going to check the ground back there, make sure our ground's good. It goes to ground 803A on that one. and 803A on this one, left rear side of cargo bed. A bad ground would also cause this open circuit. I do think I see what is likely this 630A connector. There's a big connector in the back that has the parking aid sensors and stuff running through it as well. Anyhow, enough jibber jabber. Let's get after it, boys. We have our power probe hooked up in case we need it. One thing we want to do, we're going to go right into live data, and we want to make sure that this driver is actually turned on for the license plate light, or at least make sure that that request is there. So we'll type in the word plate. Yes, license plate lamp on, it says. It's supposed to be on. Currently, neither one of them are on. So let's get to the easiest one, which is right here. Put on our glasses, still pretending like we can see every now and again. Let's do some checking. We're just gonna look for a ground. I see a black wire there. Hello, black wire. It's got the classic dielectric grease, we don't know what the heck's wrong with it type stuff in it. And on the other side, we have 1.36 volts. Let's see if we touch that. We touch something metal, does it go away? Need something shinier. I just want to see if it's a... Yeah, so it does get reduced when I touch a piece of metal. Take my hand off the metal, touch the exhaust, it goes down. So very, very low current. The power probe meters are not high impedance, so if they're low current circuits, it will pull down. Some 5 volt references it will pull down, so be ye warned. Don't you just want to push the button, see if the other one lights up? It shouldn't hurt anything. What I would say is we're either dealing with a bad body control module, or more than likely the green corrosion. We're going to give it a blast, and the other LED lights up. So that's good. So let me show you that real quick. I was not afraid of sending 12 volts down. It is a 12 volt circuit. We know we're not short of the ground, so could have done it differently, but that's how we did it. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with. We know the wiring from this one to that one is okay. So that's what we know. We know what we know. Ground's good. We've got some power there, probably corrosion. There is a connector here that I'm suspicious we're gonna have a gander at and see if we can find our wire. Like I say, you can tell somebody's already been meddling in things they ought not be meddling in. Right here, this harness I did follow around because we don't have a connector reference, comes around and goes directly to the plate lights and to the parking aid system. So that's one thing that we know. It is in a suspect area. It is nice and crusty. And I'm gonna get a blow nozzle and give it a little toot. Maybe we can pull this back cover off here. Before we do that, just have a bit of a look. Gonna have to bust out. There we go. That knife. Okay. Girl, you clean. Looks clean on this side. Doesn't mean anything. Right in my mouth. What color wire was that again? White with something, wasn't it? White with dark blue. White with dark blue. I see I really like pin references, but there's a white with dark blue there in between the the red and the blue. I tell you what, we can check before we unplug it and see if we have that same voltage there. Let me go get a pin. I have no pins in my hat. Let's see. White with dark blue. Tapping it from the backside. Classic move. 1.3 volts. Huzzah. Okay, that's the same thing we had down there. Do we know if it's the right wire? No, we don't. So What are we not gonna do? Well, we're not gonna push the button and let the smoke out of anything. So I back probed it with a test light. We're gonna power the test light now. Oh, look at that, both of them work. Oh, nothing's working now because my dang test light came unprobed. Stand by, it's the amateur hour here. Trying to hold everything together. Okay, yep, both plate lights work. So that is the correct wire, yeehaw. So all we did is probe it with that. Now let's come on to the back side. We'll leave this connector right connected. Leave the connector connected. And we will check this wire up high on this side of the connector so we can just tell if there's corrosion somewhere's lurking on the inside. Let's see what we have for voltage here. We're expecting 12 volts is what would make us happy. Quit touching metal, we got nothing. We've lost all voltage. Is the lights and plate lights turned off? They are turned off. That's why we have 0.00 volts. And by looking at the scan data, stupid cars, well, there's stupid keys. You got to go through this crap. Okay. Not trying to sound cynical, folks, but some days cars just piss me off. You know, like, hey, I just want to turn the lights on and leave them on. I want to turn the key on and leave it on. But no, we got to build cars so every day freaking idiots can drive them. And okay, that's it. I'm done complaining for today. For this minute. Okay, 1.33 volts there, so we're not dealing. We're still looking for the open, dog. We gotta head this direction, try to find another connector. White with dark blue. We're gonna get a good look at that because it's not really dark blue. Let's say it's more like just white with blue. Because it's the same color blue as that blue. Maybe they consider that dark blue, but white with blue, probably an 18 gauge. Make sure it's not just somewhere close by here. Gotta find it somewhere else. Let me go do some looking. This is the driver's side floor pan area. There's a big plastic cover, this cover. Made that noise, came off from there. 3 of these nuts. Held that on there with some 10 mils. Okay. I suspect this is probably one of our connectors because it's going up inside the car, and well, that's where the body module is now. That's logical thinking, so I'm probably wrong. Because if you think like an automotive engineer, like, well, let's run it up around the engine 5 or 6 times and then inside the cab. Well, let's see if we can get this cover off without disconnecting it. And find our wire and at least see what our voltage is here. There's a zip tie here. We're gonna have to cut it. We will reinstall it. I do not have one that thin in black, so we're gonna have to make do. Hoping that we can just pop the top. Whoa, hey dude. Hello. Come on, show me the money. Show me the money. I was hoping it was right next to those. So there's our red and blue that was in the back, and that's why I was hoping it was just right next to it, kind of in the same orientation. However, it isn't. But I have a feeling that we're on the right connector simply because of that. Nothing else. What we got, boys? Where's the white with blue? Or how about just something green and crusty? White with blue. Ooh, there's white with blue. There's white with blue. Hello. Hello. Hey. What's your name? And it is in pin number, well, that's number 6. It's labeled number 6. What's it labeled on this end? A higher number, so it goes up. So let's see if this matches our diagram. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So white with dark blue appears to be an 11. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's look at our diagram, see if any of them show a number 11. Again, Mitchell diagram, do not trust it. Note we show a pin number 9 and a pin number 47. Pin 9 and pin 47. Again, aftermarket diagram, not to be trusted. There's clearly a number 9 on there. So if you look at it the other way, it is a 6. Let's be honest here. So if that's a 1, then that's a 9. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What did I say we had? A 9 and a 47. Okay. Well, at least we know something. Like I say, I don't even sweat it. You see me? I ain't sweating it because it's a Mitchell diagram. Or I'm on the wrong one. There's that. So let's see, is there another? Before we get all excited and start letting the smoke out of everything. Mother frigger. 47, so we're suspecting that this is, let's just see if there's a 47. That's because we do have numbers here. Let's give Mitchell the benefit of the doubt. That's number 30 and number 51 I can see. So 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. What did this guy is friggin' memory's about as long as his friggin' little toe here. 47. How does that compute? That doesn't compute. 50. 49. 48. Oh, 47. I'll be a son of a monkey here. Oh, because that's 39. That's not 30. Here's a guy who can't read. So yeah, here we go. Here we go, old son. Good thing we didn't send some volts down that other one. There's a couple whitewood blues. Here's a whitewood blue in actual pin number 47. Come on, just show me 12 volts here. All right, well, it's not broken immediate area. I just gave it a little tug. We're gonna very gently probe straight up into there. According to the scan data, the lamps are on. Uh-oh. You know what that means, old son? What's that mean, boys? Again, another crusty wire. We have 12 volts here. We have no volts there. We have a lot of freaking wire, lots of clamps, lots of dirt and junk. Son of a frig. Dang it! Why do I always have to find the broken wires? A minute ago, we're like, oh, this is divine. This is your special gift. Now I'm like, I don't want this gift. I want something else. But here we are. Okay, so what do we know? Well, we know we have voltage here. We got no voltage there. And we're just looking for some easy money. Easy money. Green crusties make green money. And not easy money in the sense like we're going to be like, oh, stick it to this guy because we found it. Nobody else did. No, easy money in the sense we get to move on and do something more fun. I'm looking for stupid broken wires. Harness must go that way. All right, come on, spidey senses. I'm going to look over and see if I can find the tinge of green. So this is very unfortunate. This is the only spot of the harness that's exposed, which is back here by the left wheel. Up front by the connector, I opened it up about 4 inches down. Often wires are broke next to the connector, usually within a short range of it. I don't suspect we're going to find the broken wire here, but I would like to know, because most of this harness runs like this. It's pinched between the body and the frame. It's 100% inaccessible, short of removing the body and the fuel tank, because it goes around and the rest of it's all pinched above the fuel tank. I can go through with my mirror. Hey, look at that handsome guy. Hello. I can go through with that and see most of the harness. I do see one spot where it has a non-factory zip tie on it and some non-factory tape. Must have been done when the tank was removed at some point. So I don't know. This may be a candidate for either A, removing the body from the frame. I'm just kidding. That's nonsense. It's a 2019, so she's on her way to the scrapyard. Or simply doing an overlay. Prior to doing that, though, we're coming in with the scalpel. See if you can feel the crack. Don't slip, boys. Don't slip. Do not send me sewing seam rippers, please, and thank you. I don't like them. I don't use them. They don't work. Trust me, I open lots and lots of loom. Probably more than most people. Okay? You just got to come in all ginger. That's it. Just feel it. Go in there like a surgeon. Like a surgeon. Love these disposable scalpels. Okay, here we go. What's the dilemma? Well, the dilemma is the zip tie for one. The other dilemma is finding the correct white with blue. We know we have two. That's a big dilemma. Let's get something to remove this zip tie. Okay, let me pause the camera, go get that. Got it. What do we have here? We just got our hooker tool. I don't see the little flapper there. It doesn't look easy to get to. At least with this tool it doesn't. Okay, we're done fiddling with that. Not the appropriate tool for this job, but it's one we have at hand. There we are. There we are, boys. Nice and clean back here. We just want to get in there, find the said wire, see what we have, make a decision. Because from here back, we can get after it. From there forward, we're in overlay territory, which I don't think you've ever seen on the SMA channel. This would be a first. Be our first real hack job on camera. Whoa. Not really a hack job, it's prohibitive to fix it the right way if it's forward of this spot here. Does that make sense to you? Oh, look at that. How convenient. That's where they ended some tape. Oh. How convenient. Just score it ever so lightly. Okay. There's a white with purple, white with light blue. White, but it's not right. Let's see. Let's find my guy. Where are you? White with blue, where are you? Doing just some very unorganized flipping around. Shuffling past the wire probably multiple times. Here's one. Hello. Come on down. Pull that way. Pull that way. No breakage. Don't want to pull too hard though, because we don't want to get it all wadded up. So that's one white with blue. Do we have the other, or does that branch off somewhere else? Hopefully. That's what our hopes and dreams are, because that would make life a lot easier. Sometimes you gotta give them the old finger roll just to see, because the color could be hiding on the backside. And here is another white with blue. Huzzah! Great job, Chrysler. Running 2 wires, same color, same harness. Makes things easy. Said no one ever. Okay, so there's our 2 that are sus. This one is white with light blue. Let's just make sure we don't have a third here. We are dealing with a guy who's half blind. He's half blind. 50% of the time, every time. I don't think so. I'm doing the fast shuffle here and I'm not seeing anything. Okay, those are our 2. 50-50 chance, folks. Doesn't matter, we're gonna poke a hole in both and hope both of them don't have 12 volts. Actually, we hope one does. Marker lamp circuit's still on. Let me go get a wire poking apparatus. I hate poking wires in the Great Northeast, but what do you gotta do? License plate lights are still on. We're gonna go with this one. Very light, tiny poke hole. Looking for 12 volts or 1.33. We have 2. Do I not have a good pokey? Get it in there all the way, fella. It's interesting. That's all over the place. You guys see? Oh, you guys can't see crap. 2 point. I don't know what else is going on here. Do I got a crappy poke, or am I? No, we're dead centered. Are we close? We close to the problem, dog? Or are we just on the wrong wire? I tell you what, easiest way to tell, instead of poking 2 holes, go like this, see what we have. Three point 3.2. Let me go back to the plate light. You guys stay right there. Don't move. I'm gonna unplug the plate light, see what we're at, because we've been touching stuff, you know, naturally. Plate light has 3, 2.89, 2.7, 2.5. It's at 2.8, 2.9, 2.7, and 2.6. Interesting. So it is bouncing all over. 3. So yeah, I think we're on the right wire. Well, let me get something to hook this up permanently. I'll go up through and massage the harness. We'll see if we get any type of change. That worked for us on a Toyota. We're dealing with corrosion. Son of a gun. I can at least go to that spot where I saw the crappy outside, but like I say, most of this stuff is completely inaccessible. Darn. We'll stick that in there. And then on this end of the Proby.
Yo.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Fixing junk.
I didn't see this hot rod here.
Have to admit defeat, folks. Went through, I massaged that harness. Voltage is all over the place all the time. Anywhere from a 0.5 volt to 5 volts. Super erratic. You can see just sitting here at lots of ghost voltage. I'm on the correct wire, powered up. Lights turn on in the back. Very few spots exposed. There is a spot here under the driver's door where that, little donger hangs down, your little compartment you can put your weed in. The harness behind that has a plastic cover. I opened that up. It's the only spot that's exposed. I did not bother poking the wire there, but I just, kind of fished around, didn't see any green, no dust, no significant change, kind of pulled and tugged and manipulated the harness. I'm over time on it. At this point, the most feasible option is to do an overlay. It is my least popular option. For the main reason as we don't know exactly where the break is and what caused the break, but you've seen on our show dozens and dozens of times. It is not uncommon to have a wire broke in the middle of a harness that's never been touched for absolutely no reason. We see that often. We see it more often where somebody's had their fingers in there. That's usually the cause. But in this case, I say the most feasible thing, just given the overall condition of the truck, and the age of it, and the amount of corrosion on it, the best thing to do is going to be to do an overlay. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's either that or it's, like I say, pull the body off the frame and then get to the sections of the harness that we can't see, or drop the fuel tank out of it and get to the sections. But, you're hitting the stupid level at that point. So I'm gonna go run it by the customer, see what he wants to do. If he wants to do an overlay, we're gonna get her done. This pains me. Dude, this hurts my soul. Spoke with the customer. He said we're not pulling the gas tank or pulling the body or anything that takes it to the stupid level any more than we already have. So he gets it. I get it. You get it. I hope that I have enough street cred with you guys that you know that this is not my MO. I was just hoping it was going to be broke like right here. Nope. We're tearing away at it too much. Also, deep in my soul, I want to know if just by pulling on it really hard, did it change anything? It did. We're so close. 4.5, 4.7. I'm going to pull on it really hard. Damn, we got to be close, man. We're up to 7, 8 volts. Now we're at 0 volts. That sucker's like right up here where it's pinched in the body or something. I can feel it, man. Quit wasting time, Eric. Back to 2 volts, 2.5. Pull on it, you can get her up to 7 or 8. Yeah, it's 8.5 volts there, 9 volts. Boy, we're almost at battery voltage. 8, 9. Problem is, even if we do identify it here, what are you gonna do, man? Can't do anything. Can't do anything. We gotta be so dang close, though. I got us some wire. Let's overlay this pig. I've never felt like such a disappointment to you folks in my entire life. I would say it's a humbling experience. But I don't. What the world? Come on, man, you should be hot enough. Some of the old 60-40 rosin core. But I don't go around flexing like I'm this high and mighty. I give credit where credit's due. So I can't really say this is like an in-your-face, hi, you're not as good as you claim to be. So we're using the old solder for our viewers across the pond who pronounce the L in the word solder. And we're using heat shrink. Solder, heat shrink with the goo. We'll let that cool down. I'm going to tape this up, get everything kind of put back. There is going to be some points loss at the end of the day. There are some points deductions that are going to be happening here. You know it, I know it, we won't talk about it. That's why I use black wire. It's mostly going to be pretty well camouflaged from the judges, but a good judge is going to pick up on it. Hopefully we got the right wire at the end of the day too. Should be. At least it has power on it. The other end of this we're going to leave open. Doesn't really matter. The wire's open circuited. It's not going to hurt anything. So we get this taped up, get the cover back on, and I anticipate. So this is 18 gauge that I'm using. The wire we're hooking onto is 22 gauge. So I was way off in my guesstimation with that. And I'm just going to run it with the factory harness, zip tie it where I can, keep it from rubbing, and then hook it up in the back. Before we put the cover on that, I do want to just show that we did white zip tie that. So, but that's going to be under the cover. Make sure we put the lock back down. Wires running on the outside, taped up. Wires just dangling for right now, but got her taped to the main. To be honest with you, I can't tell you the last time I did an overlay. It's been a lot of years. A lot of years. Where's these nuts? There they are. A lot of years. It's not bad. I'll tell you when. Let's talk a little bit here. I'm trying to justify it to myself. I'll tell you when it's bad. It's bad when you're guessing, okay? When you're like, well, this wire might be bad, let's just overlay everything, and that's what we see. And then now you've got some crappy overlay over top of wire that really wasn't bad. It's like it's the next level of the dielectric grease. You know, you dielectric grease every connector if you don't know what's wrong with it. And if you think it's the harness, you do an overlay. And you cut and you splice and everything turns out bad. It's okay in a situation like this where we're definitive, you know, good power here, no power there, weird voltage, we know we're dealing with corrosion, 100%. We've seen it 100 times. Then you could justify doing an overlay. We have identified the problem. The other time an overlay becomes bad is if, you know, and this is always my hang up with an overlay, what caused the corrosion? You know, and we've seen it more often than not, a rando wire in the middle of a perfectly taped harness that's broken. You know, why? Who knows? Manufacturing defect. The problem is when that's not the case, when it's not just the rando wire broke for no reason, but it's like, hey, somebody's in here, something's in there, there's a rock in there, poking and rubbing, and you know, it's got a bunch of wires chafed up. Because that's when it becomes the issue. Oh yeah, now we got a license plate light. Oh, now we got parking sensor things going on. Now we got, you know, a brake light that doesn't work, and we're identifying all these, you know, as broken wires or corrosion. That's when it becomes a problem. Obviously, I'll keep track of this truck if the customer were to come back with something else going on in the back and we identify it as broken wire. At that point, we either do another overlay or we hit the stupid level and start tearing this thing down. So let me get some zip ties, finish running this wire to the back, and I'll see you guys in a second. Well, we made it, friends. We made it all the way to the back. That is not a cutter. I don't know where my flush cuts are. Just need a little piece of heat shrink. 180 piece shrink tube kit. Make sure you get it with the adhesive. I usually buy it in bulk in the 3-foot lengths. Here we are with a piece of wire that's way too long. What we'll do, classic move right here, the classic hula hoop. I overestimated, way longer than I needed. Never being too short, I guess. flip that over. I did the best job that I could zip tying and securing this harness. Naturally, I don't want it to come back and haunt me, so I do the best that I can. Always do your best. Try to do your best. Oh yeah, take a hit off that, baby. Breathe deep, man. There it is. There's that. I'm happy. You're happy. A little bit of luck. We've got all the right wires. He's at least going to have license plates on. Really suck if we're on the wrong circuit. I don't believe we are. I don't know how we got this one correct on the first try. Super weird. Well, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Now, before we tape that up, we probably should kick on the lights. They're in the off position currently. But with the way the headlight switch is broken, it's not like we can turn them on and off unless there's some kind of control here with the scan tool. Oh, maybe there is. The key's off right now, though. We can turn on parking lights, reverse lamps, turn lamps. We got any plate light stuff here? Wipers, washers, starter solenoids, horn, license plate lamp. Look at that. Yes. I don't think it's going to work because the key's off. Huh. You guys in frame here? I can't believe that it would be working. I mean, this says off. I mean, the key's off. Right? Let me go back here. I don't think there's anything turned on. It's falling down. Nothing. I'll be dipped. It is on. This just took about 4 business days to turn on. And the license plate lights are on. Let me pick up my stuff I dropped here. I'll come back and show you because I know there's this trust issue thing that you and I have. They're bright. Why do they have to be so bright? Okay, oh, we got a toggle mode. Sick. That's how I would drive around. So there's that one. Is this one working? How come that one's not working? Why isn't that one working? I'll tell you why, old son. Because that right there is why. This is why we double check our work. Boom. 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 How many booms can we give it? Interesting that it's working with the key off. It must wake that module up. Maybe that's why there was such a delay from the on to the off. Okay. There it is. There's our splice. Got a little goo poking out there. She popped a little pimple on us. Let me get her taped up. I don't feel like I'm a bragger. I do go in and strut to Mrs. O, though. I will admit that. I go in and strut. Everybody likes to impress their lady. I don't have much to impress her with, other than my ability to find broken wires and fix cars. So I do flex on that. Doesn't really seem to impress her a lot. It's probably more for me than anything. I got a little funny walk I do. Go to this. You know, you guys know the walk. You know, like when you know, do the dishes or something, and you want to get some cred for it. You know, we're men. So, yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe that's why. But this pains me deep into my soul to have to do this. It really does. What are you gonna do? Film it, show the people. Hopefully you folks aren't disappointed with me. And I guess, really, if we want to spin this around, this is ultimately the customer's choice. I went in there. This is a waiter. Waiter's gonna wait. You know, gave him the choice. Said, hey, we can pop the body loose. We can pull the gas tank out, or we can do Plan B. Because obviously Plan A for me would be fixing it the right way. But he said no, not having it, and that's the smartest choice. So we'll blame it on the customer. You know that I would have went through. We would have got it right. The customer did say though, even if we lifted the side of the body up to get to the harness and all this stuff, doesn't guarantee we'll find it. Yes, we would. At that point, we would have to. Anybody could find it at that point. But he knows that that would be prohibitive. There we are. She's got 33 all the way up. I am going to hit it with some Tessa because it is right by the old stone thrower back here. Give it that little layer of protection. And other reasons. This is what it has from the factory. I did receive the comment the other day, which it's a comment I've received on multiple occasions, that simply says, can you stop with the car show nonsense? Which I replied, no. Just a simple no. Time for you to go watch somebody else. Because this is what we do. We prepare cars and get them ready for the show. And if you can't see the irony in it, dude. Because obviously the cars we work on are complete crap. That's what makes it funny. We're super childish. At least I am. There's the Tessa. This isn't a really, really terrible spot because, you know, it's back here by the back tire. We did have a zip tie there, didn't we? Oh, imagine this guy walking away without that. Wow. What repair? That's what I'm talking about. So I put that connector back. Tried to gain him a couple extra points by putting them back appropriately. Okay? Of course, that's up there where our repair is. You can't tell because the patina. Everything's run. Can't even bother showing you. And that's our other repair there. So it is what it is, folks. Let's keep on keeping on. It appears that the headlight switch may be working. I just shut them off. Alright, no codes. Huzzah! Keys on, but I don't see any lights on. The headlight switch is in the O position for off. Marker lights. Oh yeah, marker lights light up. We have no headlights. Maybe the vehicle needs to be running for that. Let me start it up. Well, the vehicle being started, the headlights do work. Headlights, marker lights, and also the codes came back for the headlight switch. Headlight switch is funky. Fog light switch is funky, which we can tell here. So Like I say, I wasn't asked to fix that. What we were asked to fix are the plate lights. That marker light works. Boom, wicked bright. Wicked bright. Alright. We're done. We'll leave it at that, folks. So we did what we had to do. Kind of nonsense, you know, why LEDs on the plate lights with a separate driver? I don't know. I honestly don't know why an engineer would do that with all incandescent bulbs on the rest of it. Why not just do it like the old-fashioned way, the same dang wire going back there runs the tail lights, and you know, who knows. In this case, it has nothing to do with LEDs. Let's be honest. I'm just finding something to complain about. And it's just a broken wire. Typical broken wire. Somebody said that I need to go down south so I can fix something other than broken wires, and I said no way, because then I'd have to learn how to fix things. We learn how to chase wires, and that's it. Just it is the majority of my business, as you guys see, is fixing and chasing and fixing broken wires, which usually we're successful. Today we failed. Today I let you down. It's the beginning of the end. It's the end times. I'm thinking, I don't know. What I do know is I need you to go in that comment section. I need you to leave me a question, a comment. Find me on the Insta, the Facebook. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.